Welcome back to another part of the video. In this video, we are going to discuss about geological time scale. And if you have not watched the previous video, that is evolution of man, do watch it. In the last video, we have discussed certain age era, that is Pliocene and Miocene, and you must be wondering what are they. They belong to the geological time scale. And what is geological time scale? Geological time scale is the measurement which is used by the paleontologist and scientist to know what event took place during the previous time. As we all know that the earth is about 4.5 billion years ago. So what happened during that period, during 4.5 million years ago? To measure that, paleontologists and different types of earth scientists describe certain timing which helps to measure the relationship or the events which have occurred during the geographical region. So let's begin with that. In the previous video also I have shown you this table that basically shows about the geological time scale. What is geological time scale is all about? It is mainly divided into 4 parts, that is eon, which is about thousands and thousands of years ago old. Then comes the era, which is less than thousands years ago old, and next comes the period, which is some recent years, and epoch is one of the recent years, is known as the epoch. So you can say the many epoch forms the period, many period forms the era, and many era forms the eon. So this is all about the overall view of the geological time scale. In detail we are going to discuss now. What is eon? Eon is extremely long period of time that you can say thousands and thousands of years old is known as eon. And you can see here in this table that the eon is divided into 2 parts, that is Precambrian period and Phanerozoic period. In the Precambrian period is divided into 2 era, that is Proterozoic and Archean period. During the Archean period, that is multicellular animals, basically they first evolved, and during Proterozoic period Protozoa evolved. They are the ancient form of the geological time scale. Then comes the Phanerozoic eon, which is divided into 3 era, that is Paleozoic, which is the ancient form, Mesojoic, which is the middle form, and Cenozoic, which is the recent era, is known as the Cenozoic era. So you can see here how the eon is further divided into era. Next, coming to the period, the era are further divided into periods. You can see here that further era are divided into several periods, and further the periods are divided into epoch. This is all about what is eon, era, period and epoch. Hope you understood this. Moving to the first part, we will be discussing about the eon, that is Phanerozoic eon is divided into 3 era, that is Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. First we are going to discuss about the Paleozoic era. So Paleozoic era is again divided into 5 periods, that is Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian period. And what event took place during this period, we are now going to discuss in detail. So during the Cambrian period, first the mollusca and the echinodermata first evolved, and during this period a major mass extinction, or you can say that first mass extinction took place, that is nearly about 75% of species were lost during this time period. Moving to the Ordovician time period, here during this time period the number of fishes gradually increased. In the Cambrian period the invertebrates first developed, then during Ordovician we can see that the vertebrates started developing, and also the primitive plants, you can say the aquatic plants and fungi first appeared during the Ordovician period. Moving to the Silurian period, from the aquatic habitat gradually they started moving to the terrestrial habitat, and the primitive, that is land plants, land animals started existing, and arthropods were also developed during this Silurian time period. Moving to the next time period, that is the Devonian time period. which is known as the age of fishes. So, the fishes started during the Ordovician period, and by the time they reached the Devonian period, their number increased so much that they started dominating the surface of the earth. That is why this period is known as age of fishes. Apart from fishes, the bryophytes, which is a classification of plants, also developed, and during this period second mass extinction also took place, in which 75% of species were lost. And next coming to the Carboniferous period, during which is known as the age of amphibian. Why? Because during that time amphibians mainly dominated the surface of the earth. And Carboniferous period is again divided into two epochs, that is Mississippian and Peninsulan. During the Carboniferous period also, apart from that, it is also known as age of amphibian, but apart from that, first reptile came into existence and primitive gymnosperm, that is non-flowering plants, started their life. So, you can see here. Moving to the last period of this Paleozoic era is the Permian period, which is known as age of gymnosperm. So, gymnosperm started their life during the Carboniferous period. By the time they reached the Permian period, they were more in number, and that is why they are known as age of gymnosperm. And during this period the third mass extinction took place, and about this one is the major mass extinction which took place, and about 95% of species were lost. This is all about the Paleozoic era, which is divided into 5 periods. Moving to the next era is the Mesojoic era, which is known as the era of reptiles. Why so? Because during this period the reptiles dominated the surface of the earth, and it is again divided into 3 periods, that is the Triassic period, Jurassic period and Cretaceous period. What happened during the Triassic period? Mainly the mammals first developed and dinosaurs first appeared during this period. And by the time they reached the Jurassic period, the dinosaurs dominated the surface of the earth. That is why Jurassic period is known as age of dinosaur. You must have seen the Jurassic Park movie, and you must be idea about that. Next, coming to the during the Jurassic period also certain other events took place, that is the first bird also appeared, and first angiosperm, that is flowering plant, started appearing gradually. And during this period also fourth mass extinction took place, in which 65% of the species were lost. And in the last, that is during the Cretaceous period, also a fifth mass extinction took place, and dinosaurs become extinct during this period. And finally, during this period the age of angiosperms, you can say the diversification of angiosperm was seen during the Cretaceous period. So, they started during the Jurassic period, and by the time they reached the Cretaceous period, the angiosperms number increased gradually. So, this is all about the 3 periods during the Mesozoic era. Moving to the next and the recent era, which is known as the Synonymic Era, which is again divided into 2 periods, that is Tertiary and Quaternary. So, Tertiary is further divided into 5 epochs, which we will be going to discuss when we will discuss about the evolution of the horse, that each period what took place, what event took place. In short, you can say that 5 epochs are Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Pliocene. And during this Tertiary period, the mammals and birds and insects dominated the surface of the earth. And during the, I also told you in the last video that during Pliocene and Miocene period, the evolution of man took place. By the time they reached the Quaternary age, that is the Quaternary era, the evolved, that is the complete modern man completely evolved. And it is further divided into 2 epochs, that is Pliocene, that is first modern human was seen, and Holocene, that is this era which this epoch which we are living is known as the Holocene period, and is also known as the Ice Age and modern human age, and the age which we are living now is known as the Holocene period. So, you must now have been must have been the idea what is known as the geological time scale is all about, and what events, geological event took place during that time period. So, and in this table you can see also the dates are mentioned, that how million years ago the era occurred, that is the Precambrian and the Proterozoic and Archean era were usually, that is 2500 or 4600 million years ago, and the most recent one is the Holocene epoch, which is 0.01 million years ago, means the recent one is known as the Holocene time period. And you have also seen how 5 mass extinction took place during this time period, in which the first mass extinction took place during the Cambrian period, second mass extinction took place during the Devonian period, third took place during the Permian, fourth during the Jurassic period, and finally Cretaceous period, the fifth mass extinction took place. So, this is all about the geological time scale, and hope you understood this video. If you have any doubt regarding this video, you can comment, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe, like, and for the more upcoming videos. Thank you and have a nice day.